welcome back to another video. Thank you for clicking on this one. So today I wanted to share my process of how I plan my week in conjunction to the day of the week and the energy surrounding that day and what the moon phase is in. Now, I don't know who else does this, but for me it works because it helps me set a goal instead of just running from an infinite to-do list that I'm just constantly checking things off, like a running to-do list that I'm constantly checking things off and there seems to be no end in sight. I truly believe that certain days are best to do certain things. And so once I did my research and compiled that information and broke down the moon phases and the energy, that helped me just kind of simplify what is it that I need to focus on? What is it that I need to prioritize when it comes to my week? So now some things I do have standing things that I like to keep. Like, so Sundays are my reset day, if at all possible. Mondays, I like to review my finances, go to the bank, do my money date. Laundry, I don't have a set day for laundry or cleaning. It's just kind of willy-nilly. But those are my two things, Sunday resets. And then for a while there, I was trying to do meal planning and my grocery pickup. Not planning, prepping, meal prep and grocery pickup on either a Sunday or Monday. But that proved to be a little too overwhelming. So that's still a work in progress. But this, again, is just more so on a spiritual level and like a mental focus level. Again, going back to like what you put in your planner. So let me kind of... And I made a video and I started on a Thursday and then I did the actual current moon phase. And I think with this video, even though I'm going to post that video, this video, I'm going to go in order so it doesn't confuse anyone. So today is Friday. So we're going to start with Friday. So Fridays are ruled by the planet Venus, associated with the reward and relaxation due to the end of the work week. But the influence is also due to the celestial body that governs it. Okay, so Fridays are about indulging, celebrating free time, again, going into the weekend, creativity, new inspiration, connecting with friends and others. And I said indulging, but also self-care. The colors are pink and aqua. So if you're really into like pulling together your color magic, or the powers of color, if you're really into using crystals, you might use those colors crystals. And then you can also focus on love, romance, marriage, sexual matters, physical beauty, partnerships, friendships, social activities, pleasure, music, incense, perfumes, nature, arts, and crafts. And I think that is so the vibe of Friday. We're usually planning the weekend or doing something fun to enter in the weekend. You might have your nail appointments because you're going to go into the weekend. You want to, be on top of all your stuff, your look or whatever. Hair appointments maybe. Like, that is such a vibe for Fridays. And then let's go to the first moon phase. So, well, before I do that, so yeah, that's how I will plan my Friday. I'll be like, okay, so Friday I'll need to be doing, say, estate planning. That's not the day for that. Friday is supposed to be fun and free flowing and like just take, like I said, take a deep breath from the work week and do some self-care and kind of relax. You don't always have to be on work mode. You don't always have to be, to do, business, what, all the things that life already gives us to handle. Cut yourself some slack and give yourself a day to just be young at heart. Now we're going to go into the moon phase because that's what I would do. I would use my Fridays for all the fun things. Let's start off with the new moon. So the new moon, excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied, is a time for new beginnings, pure potential. When the moon is in this phase, you can barely see it and the sky can appear black. It is best for setting new intentions, planting metaphorical seeds, and beginning new projects, a time for renewal and fresh starts. So it also goes on to say that this is an excellent time to plant to set goals for the future, align with your deepest desires and dreams. It invites you to embrace new paths, possibilities, offering a fresh slate to write the new chapter of your life. And I did some different research from different websites and then compiled the best tidbits that I like that talked about the new moon. So that right there is just pure coincidence when it talked about writing the next chapter of life. Because on this channel, that is what I preach. It is what I live by. Writing a new story, telling a new version of your life, whatever you want it to be, how you want to feel, who you want to be, all the things. Because if you don't take control, you will find yourself playing what do you call it, an extra in someone else's story, and you don't recognize your life. So I really like that I put that in there. I didn't even remember I put that in there. So for example, if the new moon is, and the energy, let me back up. An energy phase from a moon cycle usually lasts 3 days. So if you don't so for example, I have an app on my phone, so I can go to the app and look at the calendar, and it'll say, oh, the new moon is, or the moon is in this phase, or it's coming up, this phase is coming up. That energy is usually for 3 days. You have 3 days to kind of harness that power, right? So the new moon, for example, wouldn't be the time to be like, cut your hair, sign a contract, make a big decision. No, it's a time to, again, think about the planning phase, your dreams, your desires. Like, that's the best time. So when you combine the energy with what you're trying to do, it's more powerful. You have better odds. You're going to have better results. So that's what helps me. If it's a new moon and I'm trying to do other things, I'll wait. I'll push pause. And that also, when you pause on things to wait for the best time, you have more time to reflect. You may change your mind. There may be a pivot. There may be a redirection. There may be some more clarity that comes to you with that, instead of just jumping out and being impulsive and saying, okay, well, I'm going to accept this offer, or I'm going to move across the country, or I'm going to quit my job, or I'm going to, whatever it is that, has you making decisions and making moves and things like that. Again, there's always a time, an optimal time to do whatever you're trying to do. So when you have these goals, you look at the calendar, you look at what's going on in the heavens, so that it can empower you it'll amplify you. If you wait for, say, a full moon, you might have better results. You might have more clarity by then. Just using that as an example. So I hope this video helps. I'll make several of these. There are how many moon phases? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 phases, and then of course we have our 7 days a week. So this is going to be its own little playlist. I'm excited. Like I said, we started on Friday. I already recorded Thursday, and we'll go full circle to Monday. And I hope this helps someone. I mean, it's not something that, like I said, is like by the book, but it has definitely helped me in my life. Just kind of simplify things so I don't feel like all over the place, willy-nilly. Like every morning I wake up, I have to refer to my planner and just like go. Like, I can now delegate things to, like, bump that down. If I need to have a meeting, or if I need to run this type of errand, or make this type of purchase, or make this type of decision, I will wait. I will look at I'll be like, you know what? It says here Wednesday is gonna be the better day for that, because Wednesday, whatever. So I said, let me get on here and share. Hopefully this helps someone out there. Let me know if this is something that you do. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be into astrology and, the planetary movements and all the things. It's a lot of information. I remember one time someone was saying the Mercury retrograde is this, that, and the other. And I hadn't put too much stock in it and done my research about it. But once I did, I was like, well, that's why I was so out of sorts that day. That particular day, I was like, oh my gosh, I just can't get it together. I was low energy. Mentally, I was just like in a fog. I was feeling all these things and didn't even know that some things affect you and you don't even realize. I'm thinking something's wrong with me. I'm like, did I forget to take my vitamins? Am I not rested? Like, am I PMSing? Like, what is going on? Early, you know what I mean? I'm too old to be having some wishy-washy cycle. So anyway, take those things into consideration. I'm not saying that they completely control you and you can't do something when you need and want to do it. I'm not saying that, but it helps to use nature to aid you, to support you in all of your endeavors, you know. So anyway, thanks for watching. Until the next one. Peace. Bye.